Hello, people. Welcome to BT Media. We'll discuss things in the news going on right now. Let's go.
To protests in Kansas City after a 16-year-old was shot when he mistakenly went to the wrong home. Alex Perez joins us with the latest on the investigation. Good morning, Alex.
Hey, good morning, Robin. The prosecutor's office says they must still collect evidence before deciding on charges, but the 16-year-old's family is demanding an arrest be made.
Justice for Ralph!
This morning, protests in Kansas City after 16-year-old Ralph Yarl was shot by a homeowner when he mistakenly went to the wrong home. Police say the high school junior's parents asked him to pick up his siblings at an address on 115th Terrace, but he accidentally went to a home on 115th Street, where, according to his family, he was shot in the head through a glass door after he rang the doorbell. Yarl recovering in the hospital.
This child and this child's family knows that there are people working hard, a number of people working hard to make sure there is justice.
The shooter, who has not yet been identified, was taken into custody, then released pending further investigation.
We do have a police department that is listening, that cares, and we take all of these cases seriously.
Hundreds took to the streets demanding the shooter's arrest.
This should not be the fate of black children.
The family hopeful for a full recovery.
Ralph will feel a lot of love because this is a lot of people. It's amazing.
Talking to the other subjects that were there at Cemetery Road in the same vehicle with Kaylin, they indicated that they had been looking for a friend's house in the Patterson Hill Road area and had gone to the scene where we had the report of shots fired. They had gone to the scene in error. They were looking for a friend's house, as I said, and unfortunately they drove up this driveway. It's a very rural area, it's dirt roads, there's not a lot of cellular service or any type of internet, so they were basically looking for their friend's house and got mistaken and drove up this driveway. While they were leaving the residence, once they determined that they were at the wrong house, the subject came out on his porch for whatever reason and fired 2 shots.
We've all ended up lost while driving and pulling into someone's driveway by accident. Well, that turned out to be deadly for this young woman who authorities say was shot by a homeowner after she drove onto his property by mistake. It comes just a day following a 16-year-old boy being shot after he rang the wrong doorbell. Stephen Fabian reports.
Pretty Kaylin Gillis cradles a baby at a family gathering.
He likes noises.
Today, Kaylin is dead, shot after turning into a driveway after she got lost. Kaylin, her boyfriend, and 2 others were driving in upstate New York looking for a friend's home. They turned up this secluded driveway at about 9:30 p.m. This is the start of the winding driveway. It's about 600 yards long, and it's more like a private dirt road. Investigators say that once Kaylin and her friends realized they were at the wrong address, they turned the car around and were actually leaving. And that's when 2 shots were allegedly fired from the porch of the home. One hit Kaylin. They had to drive more than 5 miles to get cell phone service to call 911, but Kaylin was beyond help. Authorities say there was an hour-long standoff before 65-year-old laborer Kevin Monahan surrendered and was charged with second-degree murder. Becca Schmidt has been Kaylin's friend since childhood.
She got her whole life ahead of her, and it just got taken away for nothing.
She says turning around in driveways is common here because roads are narrow. You're on a rural road where there's some blind turns here, right?
For
sure.
Do
you say that people turn around in your driveway all the time?
Oh yeah, pull in here, got a second driveway right there, and sometimes people just pull in and back right out and go the other way.
County Sheriff Jeffrey Murphy, who knows the victim's family, says Monahan is not cooperating with investigators.
She was, like I said, an innocent young girl who was out with friends looking for another friend's house. I know for a fact that she comes from a good family.
I spoke with Monahan's attorney. This girl did nothing wrong. She was lost. They were turning around in somebody's driveway. This girl didn't deserve to die.
You have a series of mistakes made by more than one person, and she was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and there was certainly, she did nothing wrong.
That tragedy, on the heels of the similar wrong house shooting of Ralph Yarl in Kansas City, is raising questions about violence in America.
What is wrong with us as a country? How many times have any of us pulled into the wrong driveway to back up?
We got to figure it out. We got to figure it out because now if you make a mistake, it can cost you your life.
Kaylin's dad posted a poignant message online. Rest in peace, my baby girl. Daddy loves you so much.
A 20-year-old woman was shot dead after her friend turned into the wrong driveway in upstate New York. The homeowner is now under arrest. The shooting happened Saturday in Hebron, 60 miles northeast of Albany. Police say a group of girls looking for a friend's house drove into the wrong driveway. While they were turning around, police say the 65-year-old homeowner, Kevin Monahan, came out on the porch and fired 2 shots. One of those shots struck 20-year-old passenger Kaylin Gillis. A witness who did not want to be identified says that the car wasn't in the driveway very long.
We saw them go up, turn, and then they kind of barely had a chance to. What I think is they realized we're in the wrong place, but now we have to turn around, and there's no room to turn around. So they were trying to do that when this guy shot them.
The homeowner is now charged with second-degree murder and is being held at the Warren County Jail.
We start at 5 with such a sad story. A young woman killed while just driving, like any of us would be. The truck now that may have been involved in that homicide has been located, according to police.
The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office believe people in that truck threw a rock at the car, hitting and killing that 20-year-old driver. This happened last night about 10:45 on Indiana Street, just south of West 120th Avenue. That's in Jefferson County. Authorities believe the same people that did this are responsible for 4 other similar incidents that all happened last night.
None of those other incidents involved death, but there were 2 other drivers injured. And Jaleesa Irizarry is live at the Jeffco Sheriff's Office. Jaleesa, is anyone in custody yet?
Well, Kim and Tom, no one is in custody. No one has been arrested, but the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office says they have been able to locate the truck and its owner are continuing to investigate. Now, the Jeffco office identified 20-year-old Alexa Bartell as the driver that was killed last night. They say Alexa was driving down Indiana Street on the phone when with her friend when the line suddenly cut off. Her friend tried calling Alexa back, but she never answered. So that friend tracked her phone and found her car had driven off the road of Indiana Street through a fence and ultimately stopped in a field. Alexa died from her injuries. Now, in all 5 incidents they know of, police say all the individuals were driving when they were hit by the large rock.
This is not a prank. This is not fun and games. We have people who are injured, and we have a woman who has died as a result of this action.
Now, this is the truck they believe threw large rocks at multiple drivers last night. We are showing it again because the Sheriff's Office believes they believe there could be more victims out there, and so they encourage you to reach out to them. Police say they do have a few of these rocks in evidence right now. They say they're about 4 to 6 inches long and 3 to 5 pounds, and they are encouraging anyone who may have any video, either dash cam or ring video, to please reach out to them as they continue this investigation. Kim and Tom?
It's hard to imagine something more innocent than just driving along when this happens to these people, especially that young lady.
Terrifying, yeah. Thanks, Jaleesa.
Here he is, the homeowner accused of shooting a young woman to death after she turned into his driveway by mistake. 65-year-old construction worker Kevin Monahan is charged with second-degree murder of 20-year-old Kaylin Gillis in upstate New York. Friends and family members of Kaylin's crowded around her boyfriend Blake here in the courtroom, rubbing his shoulders and consoling him as the judge spoke. It was also their moment to come face-to-face with Kaylin's accused killer, who the prosecution described as ill-tempered and impulsive. When the judge made his determination that there would be no bail, we also saw Kaylin's father pump his fist in approval in the front row. I spoke with Kaylin's grieving grandfather.
We were huddling together as a family, sharing stories, pictures, and this will be a long haul, obviously, but we'll be together through this whole process.
The slain woman's boyfriend, Blake Walsh, says he was driving an SUV with Kaylin and 2 other friends up this long, winding driveway. They realized they were at the wrong address and turned back. That's when police say Monahan opened fire from his porch. My friend said, "They're shooting, go," he said. I tried to step on the gas as fast as I could, and that's when the fatal shot came. I want to believe it was instant. I'm praying it was. Monahan's attorney says 3 vehicles came up the driveway at the same time, spooking his client.
It's late at night, 3 vehicles, including a motorcycle, come tearing up the driveway, revving the engine, shining the lights in his house. He doesn't know who they are or what's happening.
Does your client have any remorse for what he did?
This is a tragedy, and he was involved in the tragedy, and he feels terribly that there was a loss of life.
And we're seeing for the first time video of the elderly man who shot the 16-year-old black teenager who mistakenly came to his house in Kansas City, Missouri. 84-year-old Andrew Lester is free on $200,000 bail, but was back in court today. He was stooped and leaned heavily on a cane as he walked into court. Lester's grandson is speaking out today. "It's just crazy. I wish it didn't happen. I also get lost on those streets. It's easy to do." Ralph is recovering from his head wound. This just-released photo shows him on his family's deck with attorney Lee Merritt.
The alleged shooter pled not guilty today. Meantime, the family's lawyer says had the bullet hit Ralph's head just a fraction of an inch in any other direction, he would probably be dead. He calls the teen a walking miracle, and we agree.
Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Subscribe.